Hey everybody, this is John from MTG Nexus doing a quick deck tech, and thank you to all of our viewers and new Patreon supporters. First of all, I'd like to thank both Andreas and Tim Ward for their new $1 pledges on Patreon. You want to help support the channel, please check out our Patreon page, as I put out a sideboarding guide every 2 weeks basically. On the 1st and 15th of the month, I'll be doing an updated sideboard guide for post-Hogak bans, so I'll be doing some testing for an MCQ. The list I'm playing today is slightly a little bit off of what I've been playing on the recommended deck list. I'm trying a couple Deflecting Palms, which is something that I tried out in as yet recorded videos against Eldrazi Tron. This card kind of came back into vogue with Hogak and E-Tron being big things. Basically, it's replacing a couple copies of Searing Blaze in the main, and the other ones have been moved to the board in the place we'd normally have Stirring Blood. So maybe I should just flip these, put these in the sideboard, put these in the main, but I think we're going to try these in the main and see how this league goes. And I want to thank everybody for helping us hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a goal that I've been after since the beginning of the channel. You know, couldn't do it without you guys, couldn't do it without your support, and there'll be a lot of things, a lot of changes coming down the pipeline. As far as when they will take place, I'm not quite sure yet. My work schedule will be changing, which means I'll probably be free to do a little bit more content. We'll see how that goes. We'll be continuing to do more of the Versus series for both Burn, and I'll probably start doing matchups for Izzet Phoenix as well. But beyond that, we've got a league to get into, and this list has been basically the one we've been running. Other than we're putting a couple Deflecting Palms in the main, seeing how that works out, and let's get into the matches, because that's what we're here for. Hey, we're back for match number 1. Sands off to an inauspicious start here with 5 lands and 2 spells, so obviously a mulligan. Sands reasonable, especially on the draw. It is a bit of a risk with just a 1-lander, but I think it's fine. I think the get rid of here might be Lightning Helix, simply because you need to draw a white source to cast it, and while it's quite likely we'll find one if we find another land. Alright, well, hopefully this is not Eldrazi Tron. If it's Eldrazi Tron, we're in some trouble. If it's regular Tron, I think we'll be in decent shape. Ugin probably represents regular Tron. Alrighty here. So do you have Worm Coil Engine here? You might not even have Tron. Interesting. Turn 3 kill. Alright. Seems pretty good for us to get off with that particular thing. Especially a win on the draw is kind of nice. So, I do believe normally I would be boarding out my Blazes. This is a matchup I want Deflecting Palm in. So Blazes makes sense. Eidolons on the draw might make sense. Deflecting Palm's not fantastic in this matchup, but obviously can kind of negate a Worm Coil attack, which is the primary card we care about outside of Thragdad. So we'll go ahead and side like this. We might bring in some Eidolons in on the play. It's a very fortunate mulligan for us, and our opponent kept a 7 in which they did not have guaranteed Tron, which is kind of bizarre. This is another one of those hands that could be really good, or it could get really punished. But we are on the draw, so I'm going to keep this. Yep. Hopefully we will find a second land. Once again, my guidelines for keeping track of one-landers is usually got to be on the draw and having multiple one-drops, and the upside of the hand is insane. This is a hand that could certainly kill by like turn 3. Alright, there's Tower. A Worm Coil Engine if they have Tron. Alright, there is Expedition Map. So, I guess they could have O-Stone here potentially. You have Startings to go with it? You do not. Do we have lethal? 6 plus 7. Yeah, I do believe. Okay, so 4, 4, 10, 12, 13. I'm doing my math correctly. They're just dead. And turn 3 kills twice for burn. It's pretty nice. So, anyways, we'll be back in a bit for match number 2. Okay, we're back for match number 2. We're on the play. This hand has decent play, so I think we're going to keep it. Once again, Burn's best hands have 1-drop creature in it. This hand has probably Riftbolt into Eidolon as sequencing. Some people might be tempted to hold up Lightning Bolt here, but Riftbolt, just getting it out of your hand, getting that suspend thing done. So, Chancellor of the Tangle, delightful. So we are up against Neoform combo. Could get comboed turn 1 here. Might be our turn to get basically turn 3'd. Manamorphose. Manamorphose. I am confused as to what just happened there. They must have their basic forest in their hand and not realized it. Pass turn. Goal is to get them below. That's unfortunate. Goal is to get them below 14 if at all possible. Sure. Put you to 2. Well, hopefully you don't have a Nourishing Shoal in hand. And put you to dead. Alright. Neoform combo. Neofrom, not Neoform. There we go. So we're definitely somewhat vulnerable to Leyline of Sanctity, but honestly not a whole lot we can do about that here. Bring in the Skull Cracks, bring in the Path to Exiles, leaving... Does Deflecting Palm even make sense here? Yeah, I can kind of negate a Gristlebrand potentially. Other cards that don't make much sense. I suppose getting rid of a couple copies of Riftbolt here. Hope our creatures are enough if they just mulligan the Leyline. Don't think we can keep this hand. It's just a lot of burn spells, which is fine, but we need creatures in this style of matchup, so this hand's fine. I think the pitch is... what is the pitch here? Maybe... It's either one of these 3 cards. Suspect we want to hold on to Path. Get rid of Skewer, I guess. No turn, 0 Leyline is good. Doesn't look like we're going to get comboed this turn. So one annoying part about Neobrand is just the fact that it can, you know, kind of get you out of nowhere. It's one of the reasons for a while we were running Grafdigger's Cage. Was the fact that it kind of hedged against this matchup, though it is admittedly significantly worse against Holgok. a good chance that was their only land, if they're leading on Gemstone Mine, or they have like a basic forest in hand or something. Oh, waterlogged grove. Sure. Mm-hmm. Obviously, if we were on the play, we could attempt to path them, but we really can't just hold up path and hope it's good enough here. Opponent basically needs a Nourishing Shoal or they're dead here. Yep. Let them do their thing and see what happens. Mm-hmm. Did you get there? Okay, so you can draw your whole deck. Do you have the Lab Man? Alright, on to game number 3. Guess it was our turn to get turn 2'd. Again, this hand's solid, even if they have Leyline. Going to 5. Kind of shocked that we didn't see a ley line there. Hopefully we don't get turn 1'd here. Alright. Leaves them at 14, so they only get 1 activation off of a Grizzy Bee. Unfortunately, we don't have an answer to a Gristlebrand, so And if we draw a land, we can kill them. No, actually, we'll be able to kill them even through a Crystal Brand here. Going to 4. It's looking decent for the home team, but there certainly is a possibility we could die here. Sure, go to 2. Try to cast Neoform, you're dead to the Eidolon trigger now. So... Alright, that was match number 2. Be back in a bit with match number 3. Hey, we're back for match number 3 in this league. We're on the play, which is amazing. This hand is awesome. We've got 2 lands, a bunch of spells. Most importantly, a 1-drop creature. Probably going to lead off on Inspiring Vantage into Goblin Guide, because this preserves a fetch land in case we draw like a Searing Blaze or something. Get a little bit of information. Mountain. Okay. Crash through. So, Prowess. Probably discards like a Phoenix or something this turn. Interesting. So, once again, same reason to play the basic mountain since we drew it. Spending Roof Bolt, holding up Lightning Bolt here. Would prefer to go face with this, but, you know, just in case our opponent gets something absurd going here, I want to have the option to Lightning Bolt. Puts them at 13, 10, 7, 4, so not quite lethal next turn. Sure. They're really going to sack a Mountain to flash that back, or they have a Gut Shot or something? Nope. Double Lava Dart, sure. Seems like a hard way to do it, friend. Alright, so we got 9 points of burn, they've got 10 points of life. Yep. I mean, if this is their turn, I think I'm fine with that. Yep. Bedlam Reveler and Faithless Looting. Another light up the stage, sure. Blister Coil Weird. It's a 1/1. Gotta attack, friend. Got him. Alright, so good old crash through. Mono red Phoenix. So blazes are fine. Smashes are kind of a necessary evil. And then board out the Boros Charms. We want to leave Deflecting Palm in. Sadly, we have not had a chance to see here much in this league. I think we've seen it in our hand once, and we had to mulligan that hand anyway. So it really didn't do a whole lot for us. Sand seems pretty reasonable. No turn 1 interaction, which is kind of frustrating, but, you know, especially when they have one of their 1-drops. Gonna suspend Riftbolt here instead of playing Swift Spear, because they could have something like Gut Shot or something to pump this up if we were to attack in. So I would prefer to... Yep. Not a huge shock. Hopefully we'll draw one of our copies of Smash. Claw. Targeting a monster, Swift Spear? That can't be right. Sure. Go ahead and use my shock here. Put them to 9. See if they try to get a good old big Soul Scar mage going here. Another Dragon's Claw. That is most unfortunate. So this would put them to 2. This would lock them out of playing spells, but also has the potential of locking me out of playing spells. So that would put them to... This is close. This is where things get really dicey. So it'll put me to 7 effectively here. Put them to 6, then down to 2. I'm supposed to helix here. Put me to 4. There's no single spell in their deck that can kill me from here, I don't think. Trigger. Helix that. Puts me back to 7. That put me to... Card I was thinking of, but I don't think it makes a huge difference here. That would put them to 3. Interesting. Still think I'm supposed to attack here. Oh, so annoying. Double Dragon's Claw might get there this game. Smash to smithereens at some point during this mess would be great. Did we get there? Wow, got there against Mono Red Phoenix. Alright, off to a 3-0 start. Pretty nice league so far. Be back in a bit. Match number 4. Hey, we're back for match number 4 here. This hand's pretty reasonable. Once again, Burn is almost always at its best when you have one drop creature, either Goblin Guide or Swift Spear. But this hand's pretty reasonable. Riftbolt and Eidolon's usually pretty good in a lot of matchups. Couple different considerations here. Could lead with either Mountain or Sacred Foundry, holding Bloodstained Mire for Searing Blaze potential. Could also do Bloodstained Mire here to thin our deck. So there's a couple different decision points here. I'm just going to lead on basic Mountain. We know we're going to be taking some amount of damage from our Eidolon. So in some ways we want to conserve our life total a little bit until we kind of have some idea what kind of the matchup we're in. Windswept Heath into... Okay. So Abzan possibly? Wow, that's... Sorry about that, and we're back. So, what can I infer from Fetch, Shock, Thoughtseize, take your Lightning Helix? Devoted Druid combo, potentially? Still feels like a weird combination of things. Yep. Can we threaten lethal here? So, 4. That would be 4 damage. 8. Let me just lock them out of playing spells here. Alright, so be it. Never known Devoted Druid combo to play. So if they have Collected Company here... Okay, looks like Collected Company maybe. Chord for 1? Oh. That's annoying. Talk about having the perfect cards. Alright, so bring in the Searing Blazes, bring in the Skull Cracks, bring in the Path to Exiles, go down the Deflecting Palms. Basically, we're bringing in anything that can interact with creatures that kills creatures, and then Skull Crack to prevent any type of life gain shenanigans they might have. Deflecting Palm isn't great except for specifically against their the like Hour of Devastation for 10 attack you for a bunch, but that would trigger after we're dead. So opponent had a very fortunate set of draws there. Cards we're not interested in. Outside of Deflecting Palm, Boros Charm can't target creatures. And then the next cut's probably a Lava Spike for the very same reason. So, opponent was very fortunate to have the particular set of draws they had. Wow. This hand has some insane potential if we draw a land. Yeah, this is one of those hands that on the play I should probably mulligan. But this is a potential turn. Is this a turn 3 kill? Don't think so. Be 1 into 1 into 1. Probably not a turn 3 kill. This hand's so close, but we only have 1 land. This hand's marginally better. Probably get rid of one of the fetch lands here. Once again, leading on Inspiring Vantage for kind of the same reason. Want to hold this up in case we potentially draw a Blaze effect next turn. So I could suspend Rift Bolts, hold up Path to Exile here. I could just cast Lightning Helix, deal them some damage. Still very bizarre for Devoted Druid to have Thoughtseize in their main deck, but maybe I'm missing out on some tech lately. Since we have so much interaction in our hand, I'm just going to go ahead and continue to push the damage here. This used to be a fairly good matchup for Burn. When the version that I was playing, when Devoted Druid Summer was kind of a thing, along with the Death Shadow version, or Death Shadow Summer, because it had like... Okay, sure. It's not a bad card here, but... Nah. I think we just bolt this because they can negate the life gain anyway, so... It's very bizarre last game, them having fetch land into... Sure, whatever. Get to gain some life. So like that would be a bizarre time to path the Monastery Swiftspear. I think from this point on, we're probably going to want to leave up Lightning Helix, because they could easily go end of turn, Chord of Calling into Vizier for infinite mana, so... We could Finale of Prompt or Devastation for something here, I guess. Makes me wonder how many basics they're running. Quite a few for a 3-color mana base. For 3? Why are they doing that main phase? Oh, Kitchen Finks? Sure. Should have suspended that one this turn. Should have suspended Riftbolt here because there was no danger of them untapping and comboing us, because they have to have Devoted Druid in play. Although I suppose they could have Infernal Plunge, would be something to be playing around. Infernal Plunge is a card that allows them to get this back from the graveyard and has haste on that given turn. Okay. That allows them to get it back. That way we just keep this nonsense from even being available. Don't want them to be able to untap and combo their way into BS. Carrion feeder? Yeah, that could have gotten pretty nasty. That would have been an infinite life loop that we wouldn't have been able to stop, so... Because Carrion Feeder plus Vizier plus... yeah, that's just game. Presuming, yeah, they can just get this back. Basically, I'm conceding because this is infinite life gain here. Carrion Feeder plus this is basically the same as Vizier of Remedies. This gets arbitrarily large. They just keep sacking this over and over again. Infinite life, basically infinite damage. So, and this protects the combo if they really want to. So they could have just sacrificed this at the beginning of the turn and then just gone in infinite life. Haven't kept up on the latest tech of Devoted Druid combo, but this seems like a pretty vicious little thing against Burn. So we'll be back in a bit with match number 5. We are back for the 5th and final match. We'll be on the play. Well then. This is a hand. So... 4-landers are almost automatically mulligans. But these two cards alone are worth a lot of mileage in a lot of matchups. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand, but this hand is usually a mulligan. 4-landers are just usually too much to handle here. Doing this to thin the deck a little bit. We really don't want to draw lands. Ah, 5-color Niv-Mizzet here, huh? Most likely, anyway. That's a deck that could literally have anything in its hand, so... This could be a Lightning Helix, this could be... Lord only knows, your Thought Erasure? It was like Thought Erasure. Probably taking Goblin Guide here would be my guess. Alright, so maybe they have a way to neutralize our creatures. That could be a fun little surprise. So if he brings them to 10... Question is, what do you even take here? Probably Eidolon? Nope. Okay, sure. Basically, you get a free attack here. there in game 1. Niv-Mizzet Reborn. I personally think this is one of the most interesting, like, piles of stuff you can play in Modern. So, the potentials for this card is just insane. If I was just playing a deck for fun, this would be like the pile that I would play. Just the different things you can play are so out there. So the problem is with a card that's so all over the place. Definitely want the Skull Cracks because a lot of these lists have things like Lightning Helix and Kaya's Guile. Beyond that, Path to Exile is a consideration to get around Niv-Mizzet and such. Cards that are probably not very good. Deflecting Palm is somewhat situational, but obviously if they're attacking with a 6/6, it's kind of good. But we don't know. I honestly don't know what the cut is here. It's definitely not Eidolon, because they have a lot of stuff that... It's just 4 Boros Charms? Seems wrong in a matchup where they're playing a 5-color mana base. But they do have the Snowlands. Cut those in the 2 Blazes. We didn't see any mana creatures that game, so it's really only good against the mana creature version in this deck. And that said, there's like a couple different versions, so this hand's fine. A lot of the same things going on as last game, but we're on the draw, so this style of hand gets significantly worse. Especially since they're probably sitting on things like Lightning Helix and stuff now, so... Dot erasure. Probably gotta take Eidolon here, would be my guess. Boros Charm. What does that tell me about their hand? Can now play around Deflecting Palm, so the secret's kind of out on that one. So one of the problems I have with the card Deflecting Palm specifically is when they know about it, it's obviously significantly worse. We'll probably be awarding it out on the draw here, or if we have a game 3. Simply because them knowing about it, I'm gonna Kaya's Guiled here. You need red mana for here. Yeah, definitely a Kaya's Guile. Gain 4 life, sack a creature. It's going to be dealing us a lot of damage this turn. They'd be at 6 without that Kaya's Guile, so... You have another one. Oof. Okay, so they're gonna kill... Deals 2 damage to me. Interesting. I'll discard a card, sure. Good games, well played, friend. And just like that, we break the snide and get the 4-1. Man, that's been a rough couple of leagues between Burn and Izzet Phoenix having a couple rough leagues. So, quick wrap up on the league. I think I kind of like this configuration. One thing I've noted in the meta, is Searing Blaze's stock has kind of gone down, and the decks that Deflecting Palm have been good against has kind of gone up. You know, we've struggled with things like Hogak, Tron, that kind of stuff, and Deflecting Palm stock goes up against those kind of decks. Searing Blaze is reasonable against Hogak as well, but only in like a specific set of circumstances. So I could definitely see trying out a couple D-Palms in the main, maybe even in the next league. It's been a card that's been popping up in a lot of sideboards. Searing Blaze as the 3rd and 4th copies in the sideboard over the Searing Bloods is fine. I don't know. This configuration was interesting. I don't know if it's necessarily the best moving forward, but you know, with Hogak still to be banned, this configuration was pretty interesting for this particular meta, although we didn't run into Hogak specifically. So, anyways, want to apologize for the late video. Had a lot of stuff going on. Family friend passed away. So there was a funeral for that, plus work. My work schedule will be changing here shortly. Finally getting on the afternoon turn, so more content will probably be more consistently put out because I'll be on a more consistent schedule. I won't have the god-awful 3 a.m. wake-up schedule, but anywho, I'm going to wrap this video up. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget, if you like the channel, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, leaving a constructive comment down below, and don't forget to check out our Patreon page, and many thanks to our new patrons, and I will be getting out thank you notes and all of that to all of our new patrons, including 1 or 2 that I announced at the beginning of this video, and there's been 1 or 2 more I believe added the last couple of days. And as always, thank you for tuning in. This has been John for MTG Nexus. Everybody have a great day.